So you mentioned woman to woman, and I wanted to kind of dive into that because that's now we're going to get into the whole image part because you shared some text with me, some comments with me
Mhm,
when you during the clips of woman to woman and the things they
mhm.
said about your skin, which I don't understand how because I'm like I was just focused on how laid your unit was. I wasn't even thinking about your skin at all. I was looking at that piece. I don't know who styles you that styles your hair, but I was looking how laid it was.
Unique does my hair.
Shout out to you.
That's her
Shout out
ad.
to you. You need to go to Tyler Perry Studios and help them out over there. So that's just a suggestion, unique. All right. But no, I was loving, but you grace the screen. I mean, the
Thank
camera
you.
loves you so much. I mean,
Thank
because
you.
you're beautiful regardless. So I didn't know why they were so zoomed in on
Mhm.
the blemishes. So can you share more about how that made you feel that at that time?
Well, I think too because so I have done quite a few films. It's just that I look different in the majority in everything I'm in. For some reason, I look different. Like because my
Right.
hair
You look
color.
younger now. You look younger now than like when you look it's on screen, because you're
Mhm.
playing if you look playing a certain character, you're gonna look more mature. But you
Right.
look young now.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then on certain things, like if I'm in Pillow Talk, I have black hair. Bound by Blood, I had ombre. And some people don't even realize that's the same person. In all these these different films.
That's a good
So
thing.
yeah, it is. So I think what happened was when I did Woman to Woman, they didn't realize it was me. But I think also at the same time too, it's hard sometimes for new people that come in, and I was new in that space for them. And sometimes people just not nice. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, and I was very grateful for all the people that showed tons and tons and tons of love, because the love definitely outweighed the hate. But yeah, there were some hateful comments that I had come across. And like you said, for me, like when I was probably like 20, like 24, 24, 25, I had started dealing with skin issues where I had acne really bad. So I had to get on Accutane, which is extremely strong, but it was from stress. It was just from stress, from doing so much. I was always doing things, and it came out through my skin. And so what happened was the Accutane took the acne away, but it left me with some scars. So
Mm.
what they're seeing, like if my makeup or anything is done a particular way, because it wasn't the makeup artist that was on site. Someone else had did my makeup, so it wasn't the person that did the film. But there was like highlight on my cheek. So when you put highlight over, where there's acne scars, you could see
You
them
can
better.
see it. Right, right.
And that's what happened in particular scene. You could see it. And so when the young lady had posted the picture online, it was like, ew, what's wrong with her skin? Ew, she's so
And it's
ugly.
not even and it didn't even stand out like that. I mean, it wasn't even something to really, but that goes to show you how many people need to just touch some freaking grass. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I mean, but
yeah,
I bet you it's a woman. Mostly women do this. And I
yeah.
spoke about this, and it's such a shame because and so can you tell us would you mind sharing what you did that you couldn't do the interview the last time?
Yeah, well, I do want to touch on two really quick, if it's okay, because you asked me how it made me feel. It made me sad because you
Mm.
don't, I mean, when you have a gang, and it wasn't even like it was 50 people. It was like four or five people, but it stands out. You get what I'm saying,
It
and
does,
then
it
it
does.
feels like a bullying type thing, and it really like hurt my feelings, but I had to talked it over, with my, family. And then I also had talked it over to, my mentor, which is T from Moolah Films. And he was like, you know what? You are that girl. Like you know what, this happens, and you are popping right now. You are popping. It happens to the best of us. This has happened to this person. He was giving me examples and examples. He was like, so, you hold your head up. Don't worry about that, because that ain't, it's nothing, because what they saying isn't true. It's not. You're a beautiful person. So, and for me, that's all I needed. That was all I needed. I snapped out of it. So then, anything else that was negative at that point, it just rolled off of me. It just rolled off and beat it. But I think that it was just the initial shock of it. You
Yeah,
know what
of
I'm
course.
saying?
You have the right to feel how you do. You have every right to feel the
Yeah.
way you do.
Yeah. Because I'm like, focus on my acting, because I did a good job.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right, right.
No, that was a humble brag, a very humble brag. But I'm just more or less like, tell me about my talent, my skill set, or whatever. But yeah, I do think people just do need to realize that, we're human. You know what I'm saying? And I shared with you that I got microneedling done. So, but it was something that I wanted to get done anyway. I had already been researching it, even
So
before
you
anything
wanted
got
to,
going on.
do it, not based on
I
anybody
wanted to
else.
do
You
it.
would do it. Okay.
No, I've been wanting
Okay.
to do it. I've been wanting to do it. And it was just like, I have so many different projects coming up. I just, it's just easier because there's like a week downtime that you have to take, and then you have to do it in processes. So for me, it was just like I finally saw the gap, in that time where I can heal from it. So I was able to go and get microneedling done, and then I still have two more that I have to get done. But yeah, it was a me thing because, like I said, this is something I've been dealing with since I was in my 20s. So definitely nobody. It wasn't, nobody made me go out because of, because listen, I was still, live my life, but it was for
Yes.
me. It
And you
made
still,
me
yeah,
feel better,
like I'm still fine. I'm still
because
fine over here.
yeah,
I'm still fine over here. Shoot.
yeah. Because we have our own insecurities. And so that
Yes.
was, and I think that's why it hit me. It was because I was already insecure about it.
Yes.
So when somebody pokes at your
Yeah.
insecurity,
This heightens it.
like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they do know this.
Yeah. Absolutely. So can you tell the audience, Krystal, what is microneedling?
So microneedling, what it is they just take like you get numbed up, they numb your entire face, and then they go in with like this laser type thing, and they just go around your entire face. And what happens is it gives you a new layer of skin. It gives you a new top layer of skin. So like if there's any discoloration, or like acne scars, it's good for like acne scars and things like that. It helps clear that up. And so, like I said, it's like a 7-day, healing process. So, like 5 to 7 days. Actually, you know what? I'm not a doctor, so let me say that. But it's normally like a week long, for it to take the healing. Because like the next day, you're completely like scabbed up, and I mean, like, because it's the skin, it's creating a new layer of skin, and then you have to go to where the skin starts to fall off. And you can't touch it. Like you can't peel it off or anything. You have to use certain moisturizers and things like that. So, but after each process, it it gets clearer and clearer. It gets clearer and clearer. So that's what that is. I'm sorry. You on mute. You on mute.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Was and now I can't see you. There. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that, because I didn't know what microneedling was until you told me, that that's what you did. No? Oh, okay. Oh, Crystal, she can't hear me. Okay. Is it still now? All right. Yeah, she's gonna go out and come back in now because I can't hear you either. I can't hear you. Mm-mm. Okay, so yeah, technical difficulties. We know that happens a lot. So no, and she just got through describing the micro needling process and how she's kind of like it's kind of like a skin restoration type of procedure that helps to clear up blemishing and stuff like that. So that's what she was talking about.
Can you
All
hear me
righty.
now?
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, and I see okay, okay, there go another Crystal. All right.
Oh, something just happened where I
Yeah,
can't hear
no,
you.
I know,
I
no.
heard something click and then you went out.
Oh, I'm still out. You still no
Huh.
still.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't hear you. I don't know.
oh, because I was
Let me
I was taking the
go
second.
out again. I'll do it again.
Okay, I was taking the second crystal out. Okay, so yeah, she'll be back. All right. So we were just talking about just you know um how your image is seen to the public or certain people who need to get some business for themselves. So but so I think I really appreciate her for being transparent about um her blemishes or some of this issues, acne with her skin, and the steps that she is taking to remedy that. So we was getting into that. So I wanted to also get more into um
Okay,
all
can you hear
right.
me?
Yep, I hear you fine. You
Okay,
hear me?
all
Can you
right.
hear me fine?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. Like I said, it happens. Happens. This is nothing new. It's not our fault. Technical issues happen, so we get it. You
Yeah.
know, but I was just saying that I appreciate you being transparent about trying to, like, kind of like a skin restoration type of thing. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate you sharing that with us. But I also wanted to get more into how you, as especially you as an actress and you being on camera, and
Hmm.
how image, especially as Black women, women in general, I'm gonna say Black women, but but how is it, how much pressure do you have to maintain a certain image, you know, in the industry?
Oh, I think there is. I do think there's definitely pressure. I think so. I mean, my answer may be different than someone else's, but I think it's because there's so much competition. You know, there's so many people that want some of the same roles. So, um, I think, like, as far as just I always say stay true to who you are. Like, if you just like worry about yourself as far as what you're doing, what you put in your body, you know, um, just trying to present your best self, then that's really what matters, because there's nobody like you. You know what I mean? There's nobody like you. And like, no matter, who else comes along, they're still not you. And I try to encourage people too sometimes, because they'll be like, well, I don't get booked, and or this and this and this, and I'll tell them, like, trust me, there's somebody that is looking for you. Because if I ever get a no, I'm not going to be upset about it, because of the fact that I take it away as my takeaway from that is I just wasn't what they needed. They needed something different, and I'm
True,
good
true,
with it, you know,
true.
because they know in their mind what they're looking for, when they're, casting for a role. So maybe, I just wasn't that, and that's what I just try to, encourage people. So that way it takes some of the weight off of the whole, I got to be this, I got to be that, I got to be this, because there's times where we need skinny people. There's times we need larger people. There's times we need, different, skin tones, I mean, somebody that just has a different look, you know it's just like you come in and you just, I can't even really, maybe your facial structure is just different. It's like, oh my goodness, you would be perfect for this, you know what I mean? So there's definitely pressure, but I think, when you're true to and genuine to yourself, you won't allow that to drown you. You could kind of drown that out.
Yeah, I agree, and that's very well said. So, Crystal, do me a favor. Can you give me, like, and I know this is going to be hard to do, but can you give me a condensed version of a day in the life of an actress?
Well, normally for me, I get my stuff prepared like the night before, everything that's needed. Well, I actually start preparing way before, to be honest. For me, like, if there's certain wardrobe that I need, I may start like a month out, and just start, ordering certain things, that I know that I'm gonna need for that character. And then I prepare, all of my carry-ons and everything that I need to take with me to set. I have my set pack that I take, my bag. And then I'm normally doing my lines. I'm running lines. I become the character before I hit the stage, like, before I'm on set. So basically, a lot of times I'm walking around the house, responding to you in a certain way. Um, because I need to, make sure that I envelop that, so because I laugh a lot, which you probably have noticed by me playing some of the roles that I have that are ongoing, like Missy from H Block. Missy is she's not a nice person, but she doesn't talk much. She talks more with her face more than anything. So for me, I do that in real life. So a lot of times if I'm preparing to go into Missy mode, like I'll look at you a certain way. Like somebody's talking to me, or my kid or something is talking to me, and I'll kind of look at them, you know, and they're like, "Mom, oh, okay,"
And like it's getting into
yeah,
character. Yeah.
and I'll just go into that to try to, so I'm not jumping into her, once I get there, So for me, that's how I prep. That's how I prep, and then a lot of that is even funny, and I'm going to definitely get back to what you're asking, but it's even funny because a lot of Shirley that and I thank Tanja so much for allowing me to also be myself, with that character. She gave me a lot of leeway. So I actually pulled Shirley from the way I used to treat my sister, because
How did you treat your sister?
I was that menace. Like I was the youngest. So I used to tell my sister, "Oh, yeah, when I grow up, you're gonna be my maid." You know? And my mom would be like, "Krystal," I'd be like, "She is
No,
gonna be,"
you didn't.
and I'd be like, "She's gonna be my maid." You know, you know, but me and my sister are like this. We're like this. And so I used to joke with her like that, so she knew. So I would like go into that, because that's just me being silly. You get what I'm saying? Me being silly. So it was easy for me to like flow into that because, I play with people like that all the time, So shout out to Tanja for that. Um, and then she let me and Barb go back and forth. Barb would go back and forth and do like some ad libbing, on there too. Oh, it was a mess. I mean, that whole set was just cracking, cracking up because we was just going back and forth. But then when I get to set, then I'm normally, I'm there, I'm ready to go. I'm there, depends on, who I'm with. If I have lines, you might have to go hair and makeup wherever they tell you to go. I'm still in my head, I might have my paper out just looking at it, even though I know the lines, I still might go over it. I might ask another actor, you want to run lines, so we can run lines before it's time. Um, and I'm really like, and then from there it's just business. It's just really just business. You going, you filming, you're doing it over and over and over. It's not as easy as people always think it is. You have to do different angles. You could be saying the same thing 20 times because you sitting there, you got to say it, you got to deliver it the same way, then they got to get an angle this way. You got to deliver it the same way. They got to get an angle that way. You got to deliver it the same way. Then they got to get your partner. You got to do it the same way. Then they got to get their angles. Then they might have to get back angles. You're doing this nonstop, and that's
Yeah,
what you don't
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Hours, hours and hours. So, and you're going. You get a break. You get lunch, and then it's back to it. And then it's like, all right, let's go. We got to get back, and then you on it and on it. And so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So um, that's pretty much what it is. It's just nonstop movement. I mean, you may have some times, depending on what set, because every EP is different. So you may have, some sets where you laughing, in between or something like that. And, there's some sets where, they might not want you to laugh. They want you to get in and get out. So I just go according to whoever hires me. Whatever they do, that's what I do. Whatever they, how they want you to flow, that's how I flow. I always respect that. I respect whatever their rules are. I make sure that I try to maintain my professionalism. you know um I don't like get caught up in, other little things. I try to, kind of sometimes I kind of get in my own little space so that I can, just stay focused. You know what I mean? Um, that's pretty much it. I mean, and you do that for hours, for hours.
Yes, yes. So when people have to work like 14, 16, 18 hours a day, yeah, that's what Crystal is talking about. So now can you explain to me what is your approach towards getting out of character? Because so a lot of actors struggle with that. And I was talking about this to William Swift, shout out to him, and we was
Mhm.
talking about the Heath Ledger situation. So I want to know how, how do you get out of character?
Mhm. So what I do is I don't go in too deep. I try not to go in too deep so that
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
don't have to come out. I will say for the first time ever, we wrapped a film that's coming out. It's another one with Tanja and Rocky Blacksmith Enterprises and Tanja Shoe Lady, and it's called "Don't Play in My Face." This one is a different role, and I had to go deep, and
Yes,
for the
yes.
first time, I felt it like the next day. Like, when we were done filming, I was like, wow, I'm still here in this place. I gotta,
Yeah, that
you
hit you,
know,
huh?
yeah, I gotta get out of it because I had to go to something different. I just had to go to a different character, different. It was different. It was different. And so for me, it's a deep story. So, I just had to allow myself to infiltrate my family around me. You know what I'm saying? So that I could get back up.
That right there is important. Yes.
Yeah, to get my energy back up.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Because I
You're
know yeah, because this process is so different for for everyone who's in
welcome.
this field. So I'm
Mhm,
really glad that you was able to share your approach towards it. So I
mhm,
appreciate that.
mhm. You're welcome.
Okay, and so Miss Stevie asked about your beauty regimen. What is your
Oh,
beauty regimen?
my beauty regimen. So now what I do is, and this is gonna sound crazy, but it works. I use old school dial soap. That little gold one, it does wonders for you. They probably won't even tell you this, but it does something for your face, and it's just been so amazing. Since I've been using it. So I wash that. I wash with that in the morning and before I go to bed. It's very important to always take my makeup off. I take my
Yes,
makeup
please do
off.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used
Yeah,
to get lazy.
yeah, yeah. So before you continue, I'm so sorry.
Uh-huh. No,
I had I have to insert this, Crystal, because
yeah.
I just wish that some of the Tubi movies will stop making it look like y'all go to bed with your makeup on. Y'all don't sleep with a beat face. Can y'all stop doing that? Remove your makeup in bed. Y'all be in your sex scenes, beat face. Y'all don't be doing that. Some of y'all have bonnets and scarves on. Can y'all stop that?
But you got a point. You got a point. Depending on the producer, you got a point. Yeah.
Yeah, can y'all stop doing that? Y'all giving these people a false sense of reality when y'all do that,
Well, and some people are really good about that. Some producers are real good about that. They'll be like, no, you can't have that. Take
Yeah,
that off, or whatever. And then, some just will let it ride. Whatever.
yeah.
But no, I get it. I get it.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. You was talking about you making sure that your makeup is off. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, because I used to get lazy sometimes, and I would leave it on, sleeping in it, and that was like a big mistake. So don't do that. And then what I do is I use a moisturizer. So I use Cetaphil, and I put Cetaphil on, and then I've also started using the sunblock. The sunblock, because I didn't really realize that we needed it like that, but we do need it. So
Yeah.
we have to use
Hmm.
it
All
every
year round.
day. Yes, every day. So that's been a major part of my regimen now moving forward. Is I make sure that I put that on that sunblock. What's the other name? I don't can't think of the other name for it. But I use like the 50,
Oh,
and then
SPF. Hmm.
yes, SPF,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I put that on, and that's normally what I do. Um, that is normally what I do, and then sometimes from time to time, I would tell you I am a TikTok fanatic when it comes to that TikTok store. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
want that
Oh, okay.
thing, that little Metacube thing they have. So it's called Metacube or something like that, and the little Korean pads. Those are good too. So I use those sometimes as well. I'll go in and just do like a clean with those, like maybe twice a week, and those work really well. I'm not sure what they putting in them. That is the main ingredient, but they work really well.
Okay. Yeah, no, Miss Stevie was saying that she keeps her keeps wipes on deck to keep her makeup off, and
Mm-hmm.
Cedar, she says she loves Cetaphil and
Hmm.
Olay. Yeah, so that's what she was
Oh.
saying. And so yeah, I think Miss Stevie was asking me as well what my regimen is. Mine is so simple. I
Hmm.
use the African black soap, the
Hmm.
real African black soap. If you see like the black soap that is actually like black as crystal shirt, that's not the real soap. That's not real.
Okay.
That's not the real stuff. It has the natural black soap has like natural ingredients like with plantain skin oil, palm
Hmm.
oil, and you know it's real because when you get the bar and as you use it, if it looks like a turd, that's the real bar. Because the reason why it looks like that is because it don't hold as much as the regular soap because it's natural ingredients. So
Got
that's why my mom used to always to tell me like, "Oh, that look like a turd right there," when I as you keep using it. But yeah, that's what I use on my skin, on my face.
now, where do you get that from? Where do you
I
get?
get that from Amazon.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Amazon or the health food store. Yeah, so yeah, the black soap and also I just use I can't pronounce the name. The toner, the witch hazel. It's not rose water.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
For my yeah,
yeah,
and then during the winter time for moisturizer, I use coconut oil as a
yeah.
moisturizer, and then during the warm months, I use like an organic lotion, like Avalon. I think that's what it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just my basic regimen right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she said, yeah, no, safe black soap is everything. If not, then turmeric. Turmeric, yes, very good for the skin. Turmeric,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah. So thank you for sharing your regimen with us. So I
Oh,
appreciate that. And
thank
so
you.
but I also wanted to kind of like go over because we unpacked so much, Crystal, and I thank you for that.